Welcome back to Game Changers here on the LHSAA Network. I'm Spencer Verret, joined now by head volleyball coach at Dominican, Jessica Chatellier. Coach, thank you for joining us. It's early in the season, but how has the season been going so far? Obviously, you had the summer as well, but how's the season been?
It's been great. We had 11 seniors last year, so we took a big hit as far as leadership and just our team. We have a few people that were on the court last year, but for the majority, we've kind of, a lot of new, fresh faces on our varsity team. So, it was a little intimidating coming in at the beginning of the season, kind of wondering who was going to take the reins and who was going to step in and be those leaders. And I will say this group has been amazing. They've really stepped in and they've taken ownership of their team and growing this culture, and it's really, really been a great start to the year.
Well, you talk about, 11 seniors off of last year's team that made the state finals. Who have been some of the standouts on this sort of new look team so far?
So we have Mally Mahoney, who is one of our outsides. She was on our team last year. She did suffer an injury that took her out a good portion of the season, but she is back and doing extremely well. Molly Baker, our setter. She was one of our setters last year. She predominantly ran a 6'2", but at some points did run a 5'1" for us, and she's doing a great job. They're both seniors. Rainey Smith, who is also a senior. She's lefty, right side, middle sometimes for us. She was on the court last year and is doing a great job, has really stepped up into her role this year. We also have Aurora Tortorich, who is our libero as of now and doing a great job. She has been one that's been with us since 8th grade, and she's doing really, really well, has jumped in, taken that spot, and has really been a great leader for us in the back row and is doing a great job.
Well, when you have a program like yours that's obviously, won state titles, been to the state tournament so many years in a row, does it become sort of kind of like tradition, like the seniors that sort of step into that role of, hey, look, we lost a lot off of last year's team, but now we have to step into that role and now be the ones to help continue this tradition? Is it kind of like that throughout the years?
Well, we kind of have a saying in our gym that the seniors are typically our veterans, but we have, like I spoke about, Aurora Tortorich, who's a junior for us this year, and she's been in the program since 8th grade, and she is one of our veterans. So I would say it's our team members that have been a part of this program that are really locking in and making sure that those standards that we have in our gym are being upheld.
Well, not just that, but with Dominican and obviously Mount Carmel, the game that's kind of, I know it's not on the horizon, but it's still to happen this year, is the pink game. I know there's other games on the schedule, but surely that's one of the ones that you're thinking like, okay, I'm really excited to go and play in this. It's always a great environment. It's on the road for y'all this year, I think.
Well, we do one at each of our places. So in mid-October, we will be at their place for the pink game, and then at the end of October, we will be at our place.
Well, just whenever you're thinking about those games, they're already a month away, but surely there's some excitement, and obviously it's for a great cause as always, right?
Absolutely. It's definitely something the girls look forward to. It's something they talk about a lot in our gym. A lot of it because it is Mount Carmel, but a lot of it also it's because they get to play in front of such a great fan base. It's so fun. If you haven't been to one of our pink games, it's something that I really can't describe in words. It's something you have to experience. So it's amazing that they get to play in front of their school communities, and they get to do it for such a great cause. We make sure these girls know how their impact it just goes so far in our community, and it just means a lot to them to be a part of something like that. So it's playing against their rival, it's in front of their school community, it's their family, their friends. It's just an awesome thing that they definitely look forward to, and they do start talking about it, talking about the theme, talking about all the fun things that they can do along with that game. So it definitely is something that we start talking about very early in our gym.
Well, one person who was able to experience the pink game was obviously, your daughter. who's
Yeah.
still doing well in the college ranks. We hope. Talk about what it's kind of been like now. You got to coach her when she was in high school, but what's it been like watching her kind of as a fan at times?
It's been awesome to finally be a fan. I was able to be a fan a little bit when she played club because I only coached her when she was younger. But I was coaching at the same time. So, there were a lot of days that she would go to club tournaments and her dad and I were both coaching other teams. So it's really been awesome to be a fan and just be there to support her and, be excited for her success and be there with her when things were hard. It's been a whole different role just to be mom and be supporter, and it's been awesome. I'm very thankful that I get that experience.
Well, Coach, we thank you for joining us here on Game Changers on the LHSAA Network. Don't go anywhere. We have more coming up after this break.
For over 100 years, our families have gathered together to share with each other our challenges and hopes, to take this light we've been gifted and paint a brighter future for the next generation. The seeds we plant today are the bounty we harvest tomorrow. As farmers, we know that together we're stronger than we could ever be apart. We're the Louisiana Farm Bureau, and we're the voice of Louisiana agriculture.
If you want to break the rock, you need to make yourself indestructible. If you want to play between the hedges, you need to work out there, up there, down there, everywhere. If you want to reach the win bar, you need to lose sleep, lose count. You need to play every game like you got nothing to lose.
Welcome back to Game Changers here on the LHSAA Network. I'm Spencer Verret, joined now by head cross-country coach at Dutchtown High School, Mitchell Bogran. Coach, thank you for joining us. Cross-country season, it's here. It's with first races were last week. As time of recording, there's races coming up this weekend. What you've seen from your team so far? Just talk a little bit about that summer and heading into the season.
Well, thank you for having me, Spencer. It's been a great summer. Weather wasn't terrible for us. We definitely made sure to get out there either early in the morning or in the late afternoon so that we could maximize on how much time we spent out there. As for how the season's going so far, we had our first meet. It was actually for the first time we went to Fontainebleau State Park and ran in the Slidell Invitational. It's local for me because I'm from Slidell, so it was good to see my old coaches and have my team run where I used to run. So that was kind of fun experience for them. This week we're going to be at Highland Road Park for the Roundtable Invitational, so it's going to be kind of our first true test to see where we stand up against a lot of the teams that we're going to be competing against at regionals and state. So the boys and the girls are both looking forward to it. I've got a big returning group. I've got 2 juniors that are leading the team right now for the boys, and I got 1 junior girl that's leading the team for the girls. So excited to see kind of how they do this weekend.
Well, you kind of mentioned it a little bit, but talk to me about some of the standouts, who they are, who we should be looking out for as we get into the I guess the meat and potatoes of this season.
Yeah, so on the boys' side, the team's being led right now by Shrey Shaw. He's our junior. He put in a ton of miles over the summer, and he's continued to keep that mileage high. Usually the first time we've been doing that with a high mileage runner, but he's done well with it, and workouts haven't been really falling off from his paces that he should be hitting. And then behind him, I've got Carson Dietz, who's another junior, and then I've got 4 seniors that are kind of closing out our 6. So I've got Caleb Weber, Anthony Bucci, Ben Kalink, and Isaac Urban, who are going to be that grouping. And then right now, that 7th position is being fought upon by a good group, which is exciting to see. On the girls' side, I've got Kira Milan, who had a standout track season. She won the 800 for outdoor state and that nail-biting finish. So she's going to be leading our girls. And I've got a senior, Ursula Unax, who's going to be probably our 2nd runner. And I've got 2 freshmen that are going to help out with the rest of the girls on the team. So excited to see how they all do at Highland for the first time.
You talked a little bit about Highland. Obviously, you mentioned that you're kind of from the North Shore area, but that's a place that people from around the state go to run, and it's such a special place. What to you makes that place so special, and how is it such a good indicator for the people at home?
So for Highland, for us, I mean, it's almost like our home course because we practice there 2 days out of the week. We go out there Monday and Wednesdays, and the rest of the time we're running at the school. But for me, for Highland, it offers so much, and the groundskeepers have kept it in great condition this past summer. They've been really working on it hard, so I really want to give them a shout out. But the course, what it has, it's got hills, it's got straightaways, it's got, we call them switchbacks. So it's got everything that you would want, and it's contained in an area that I feel comfortable that I could send them out and not really worry about, let's say if they're running on the road, worry about them getting lost, traffic and whatnot. But when they're at Highland, I feel a little bit more comfortable sending them out and doing what they need to. And they get to the point where they know where every bend, they know where every dip is. And so it really helps us when we go race there that they feel confident running in those areas. Now, that's not always the case for all the meets that we go to, but when we need to qualify for state, and that's where regionals is going to be, I want them to feel super confident that they can run it as fast as they could.
Well, and I want to hear from you. You ran cross country in high school. Now you're coaching cross country. What makes cross country here in Louisiana so special?
I think it's the fact that you have that ability to compete. I mean, cross country is one of those rare sports that you don't have to necessarily limit the roster, as like with track or other sports, like you may not necessarily never get to compete in a race or in a game, but with cross country, because of that ability to have so many run at a time, even if a runner that is going to be running in the 30 minutes still has a chance to improve their own time, whether they may not be a varsity runner for us, they still get that opportunity. And I think that's what helps build the sport up, is just giving them opportunities to show what the workouts are doing. Not to say that that's always like necessary, but giving them that chance to shine up. And at the end of the meets, the following day we meet as a team, anytime that they PR, whether it was in a varsity race or if it scored points for us, we recognize those improvements on their time. So it's something for them to kind of let their chest rise a little bit, be a little bit proud of what they've accomplished. So, yeah.
Well, Coach, we thank you for joining us and giving a little insight into what the early season cross country is like. Don't go anywhere here on Game Changers on the LHSAA Network. We'll be back with more after this break.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. long live you.
Protect what matters most to you and find out the many ways you can benefit. 100% free tuition and fees to all state colleges. Job training in over 150 different career fields, healthcare, pay, and much more. The Louisiana Army National Guard, part-time service with lifelong benefits. Find out more by visiting www.lang-recruiting.com.
No one ever thinks they'll be in this position. Buying medication online could put you here, or here, or here. Counterfeit pills and other illicit substances are being laced with fentanyl, and fentanyl kills. It's 50 times stronger than heroin. Medical professionals can't even tell the difference between a real pill and one that is fake. At least not until they do your autopsy. Don't take anything online that doesn't come from your doctor. Buying online can leave you flatlined.
For over 100 years, our families have gathered together to share with each other our challenges and hopes, to take this light we've been gifted and paint a brighter future for the next generation. The seeds we plant today are the bounty we harvest tomorrow. As farmers, we know that together we're stronger than we could ever be apart. We're the Louisiana Farm Bureau, and we're the voice of Louisiana agriculture.
Welcome back to Game Changers here on the LHSAA Network. Spencer Verret, joined now by ED White volleyball head coach Sara Johnson. Coach, thank you for joining us. Just talk to me so far the year. It's early on in the season for volleyball. What you've seen from your girls so far and what you're liking.
Well, thank you for having me on. I appreciate this. We are having a great season so far. It's exciting. I have 7 seniors, so we have a good core group of girls that are experienced. I have 3 underclassmen playing right now, but everyone's stepping it up. We're getting along. We're enjoying each other's company, and they're just playing really well right now.
Talk to me about some of the standouts that you've seen so far. Like I said, I know it's early, but you have an idea, and like you said, a lot of seniors on this team too.
Oh yeah, my senior Emery Farret, she's a middle. She's definitely one of our standouts. She had the most kills and blocks last year, so she is one of the top ones. Right behind her, or even with her, really is Kylie Johnson. She's a junior. Kylie has some of the most kills on the team as well as blocks. She plays a little bit outside and middle for us. And then my setter is running our offense wonderfully, Carson Bro. And behind her, I also have Catherine Harrison, who plays all the way around. She is just a great defender. We just love she just makes plays. She is a smart volleyball player, makes plays.
Talk to me about early on in the season. People whenever they talk about football, they're like, "Oh, we want to see where we're at offensively and defensively." Cross country, they want to hear about, we want to see where we're at on times. What do you want to see early on in the season from your team?
Well, I'm pretty much seeing it right now. Lots of defense. That's our key thing at ED White. We're usually a shorter team, and so we pride ourselves in playing defense. And my girls, yes, we have a lot to work on, but they're looking really well and really good on defense. And then they're just playing well together. And that's a big thing for volleyball. You're on a small little court with 6 people, so they have to get along and they have to, gel and play together. And that's what it's looking like right now.
Talk to me about, when you go back and you look at all the brackets throughout the years, when it comes time for the state tournament, your program has always been around. What is it? Is it the culture that kind of helps build that? When people step into shoes that were once filled by a senior, is it, these girls are stepping into shoes and they know the expectations?
Oh, 100%. We have a culture at ED White that they know the expectations that we have every single year. We make it to the playoffs pretty much every year so far that I've been here. And they're just expected to do it, and they know, and we get there. So we play a lot of tough competition in the beginning of the year that helps us get to that point. I'm not shy with playing the best of the best every game. I'm okay with that. Even, we may not be always come out at the top and have the best record, but at the end of the day, we finish in the playoffs and we get to a high spot in the playoffs, and I think that's key.
And I think out of every playoff sort of format, whenever it gets time for the state tournament, I kind of call it controlled chaos whenever you get to that part. You know, you can kind of throw the seeds out the window. You can throw a lot out the window.
Yep.
What's it like as a coach whenever you make it to that, where it's not just your match that's going on? There's about 5 or 6 other matches, right?
Yeah. Oh, it's exciting. It's definitely a great day. When I played, we actually did 5 days there, so it was even more chaotic. There was teams playing all the time, so it's very exciting. It's very exciting to see, you know, the best of the best play there and to be one of the best of the best. So we definitely don't take it for granted every year being there. We have to work hard each year. We have to start from scratch, you know, and make it there. But they have to give 100% effort all the time for us to get to that point. But it's an exciting experience when you get there.
In E.D. White over the years, I've learned that's a school that there's a lot of passion amongst not just the parents and the students, but the community. As a coach, what do you kind of see from that community in a week in, week out basis?
I mean, it's great to be teaching at E.D. White and to be coaching at E.D. White. We have leadership at the top that, you know, just has that culture of putting the kids first and working hard and having everyone just gather around as a family. I mean, our kids aren't the most athletic, but they work the hardest that they could. We ask the most out of them, and we get the most out of them every time that we play. They may not be 6-foot killers, but they are gonna give me their full effort. And I think that at the end of the day, that's kind of what makes a team. Like, you can have the best players all you want, but if, you know, you're not playing as a team, it's just not going to work for you every time. So I think that's one of our strengths at E.D. White, is that we are always backing each other, and we have just this culture at E.D. White that you just give it your all. We have big hearts.
And the last question I have for you, Coach, there's been a lot of trips, you know, obviously to the Cajun Dome and especially to the finals. What's it going to take to finally make the breakthrough and bring home a championship?
I hate to say it, but every year, you know, I think one thing that maybe we're missing or have been missing is our mental game. We've been working a lot on that this year, you know, finishing strong, getting to that point where we can finish the game and mentally stay in it and be at the top. Also, our endurance. So we've been working a lot this summer on physically preparing ourselves for those moments. But, you know, every year it's different. Every year you have a different team. You know, our brackets change all the time. But, you know, we can just take it one game at a time and just play our best and play the best of the best. And hopefully that prepares us for the end game.
Well, Coach, we thank you so much for joining us here on Game Changers. Don't go anywhere. We've got more coming up for you after this break.
The LHSAA Network TV app features a 24/7 live channel as well as on-demand content with all the high school sports you want, and it's totally free. The app is available for download on TV-connected devices, including Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV. It's the only place where every day is game day. Download the LHSAA Network TV app today.
So it's going to come down to this. Can they do it?
Oh no, they missed it! Wait a minute! There's a flag on the play!
Protect what matters most to you and find out the many ways you can benefit. 100% free tuition and fees to all state colleges. Job training in over 150 different career fields, healthcare, pay, and much more. The Louisiana Army National Guard. Part-time service with lifelong benefits. Find out more by visiting www.lang-recruiting.com.
For over 100 years, our families have gathered together to share with each other our challenges and hopes, to take this light we've been gifted and paint a brighter future for the next generation. The seeds we plant today are the bounty we harvest tomorrow. As farmers, we know that together we're stronger than we could ever be apart. We're the Louisiana Farm Bureau, and we're the voice of Louisiana agriculture.
Welcome back to Game Changers here on the LHSAA Network. I'm Spencer Verret, joined now by Mount Carmel cross-country head coach Robert Farrell. Coach, thank you for joining us. Talk to me about this sort of season. Obviously we caught up earlier today at the roundtable run where your girls finished second. Heading into that race and kind of heading into this year, though, what's the outlook on this team kind of been?
Well, I mean, we're excited for the season, obviously. We got a lot of returning athletes from last year's runner-up team, so that's always an exciting prospect. But we also had two of the girls in our top 5 today. This was their first ever cross-country race. And they both went out, and one of them ran sub-20. The other one was really darn close to it. So their very first race ever. I mean, that's really exciting. So we're obviously looking forward to this year, and we think we can accomplish some pretty cool things this year.
Talk to me about some of the girls that make up your team. Kind of walk me through the roster per se.
So like just from today, I mean, Stella Junius, she's a 5th-year senior. I mean, she's been on the varsity team since an 8th grader. So she won the race today, so that was really exciting to see. Then we've got the two Quintana sisters, Lucy and Mary Quintana. Lucy's another senior who's been with the team, been on the varsity team since an 8th grader. Her younger sister's a freshman this year, so we're real excited about them. And then we had Caroline Zimmerman, this is her junior year. She's had such a great summer of training, so it was really exciting to see her go out in that race today and perform as well as she did. So it's always nice to get a great performance, in the first race, out of the summer when you've had such a good summer. And then I think my number 5 was one of the new kids that I was telling about, Claire Del Husse, I think. She was one of this is her first ever cross country race, and she went out there and broke 20 minutes her first attempt. So I mean, that's my top 5 just from today. Have obviously some other girls who have top potential. Some are dealing with injuries. Some just they couldn't make it this weekend. But just a real talented, fun bunch. I mean,
talk to me. We kind of talked about it a little bit how last year, and speaking with Stella today, she kind of said last year was an interesting year. As a coach, walk us through what last year was like and everything that had to deal with?
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting in a number of ways. I mean, I've been the head track coach for a while now, but, last year was the first year I was the head cross-country coach on top of that. So they had a brand new coach, and that's always a change, right? And, they have to make those adjustments. We had 2 pretty big injuries right at the beginning of the year, losing Catalina. She was our number 1. We also lost another athlete who at the time was our number 4 and had been running great up until that injury. Lost both of them for the season. That was tough, losing 2 out of your top 5 at the beginning of the year. But I mean, to the girls' credit, they never quit on it. They kept working, and we were still able to finish as the state runner-up last year, despite losing 2 of our top 5 from that point. So that was a really exciting day. To see those girls, their hard work just pay off in such a dramatic fashion. I mean, that was a lot of fun to watch. So,
what have you kind of mentioned that last year was your first year as a cross country coach? What did you learn last year that you're taking into this year? Kind of with a new breath of life.
I mean, a lot of last year. Obviously, I bring a different. Way of doing things, obviously, but a lot of last year was me more just getting a feel for the land, so to speak, just trying to get a sense. Because I mean, I've been around these athletes before as the head track coach, but never directly involved, and so it was really me just kind of getting my feet settled and figuring out the team and how it was functioning. This year has been more about, I guess, like doing things. Now that I feel settled, kind of doing things just, a little bit more differently than I did last year. Learning from things that went well, learning from things that didn't go as well, and being able to kind of put really my own personal, touch on it, that I didn't really do as much last year just because I was trying to keep everything stable, So, yeah.
What would you say as we wrap up that first sort of race for you all of the year, as you head into the next couple races, what you hoping to see out of your team? Just continue progress?
Yeah, continue progress is always nice to see. Want to see them stay healthy, obviously. The girls who had their first race today, now that they've had that first race, that first experience, like to see them continue to grow and improve. And learn how to race better. See some of our other girls who they had a better day today than they did last week, but still they've got something left that I want to see them get better at. So we had a really good start to the season today, but I still think we've got a lot more progress left in them. So just looking to take 1 week at a time, just keep getting better, keep advancing in that progress.
Well, Coach, we thank you so much for joining us on Game Changers. We thank everyone for watching this third episode of Game Changers here on the LHSAA Network. I'm Spencer Verret, signing off.